I do not know if you've seen this on Citi Newsroom, but I'll quickly read the story for our viewers, where the Bagbing says organizing event at State House, Right Honorable Bagbing, he's a Speaker of Parliament, organizing event at State House is endangering security of MPs. And I read, the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Suman Bagbing, has raised concerns about the challenges faced by the House due to events held at the forecourt of the State House. He emphasized that several of these occasions present security threats to lawmakers as they carry out their official duties. Bagbing addressed these issues during discussions with the top 5 schools that took part in the National Public Speaking Competition on Friday. During the interaction, Bagbing expressed concerns over the potential threat posed to the functioning of Parliament by events frequently held at the forecourt of the State House. I would like to quote him. I am sure when you were coming, you heard some noise outside. When we were busy, or when we are busy doing our work, then there are people outside there permitted to come and make so much noise. By the time we go outside, they could have broken into our cars and stolen things. You talk to them, it is like they are deaf and dumb. They don't hear. We are constrained to be able to function properly. Anytime they want Ghana to falter and return to them, they will tell their small boys to come and misadvise us. That goes on further to the IMF situation. But the main topic here is he saying that they are under a sort of a security threat. Now we know the State House is run by the National Security and Protocol, National Protocol, they are running that. So events are held there. Funerals are held there. For I can tell that my father's funeral was held there. An amount of money was asked to be paid. One may ask, what are those monies used for? But then again, let's put that on the side and focus on the security. Now, I'll come to you first, Geoffrey. What is your take on the Right Honourable's lamenting?
Well, let me ask you, I mean, are we talking about the parliament that is the people's representation?
Yes.
No, I'm very angry about it. That's why. And no, so I'll ask you, are we talking about the parliament that is the people's representation?
That is the State House.
I mean, you are talking about the same parliamentarians that will be visiting us in our private homes, in our offices, in our churches, in fact, in my backyard, on my street, to canvass for votes. Those who come to my local Manchagbona, when my mother is actually, my grandmother is mixing the kenke for us to get our own liberty food to eat. Those are the ones talking about. You see, I tell people every day, with all due respect to Right Honourable, a very respectful man. I respect him so much.
Right.
And for this one gaffe, I will not take him on negatively. But I'll advise him as a young man praying to his own, in fact, in his own greatness. This one was really, really not expected from him. But you see, I mean, even that statement alone is more like, is he doubting the security? Because we have a police station in Parliament.
And we have security personnel.
I mean, it is a top security zone. Such that, I mean, if you are going to enter Parliament, there's a screening for you. And if you are having an event at Parliament, you go through a process. So they identify what program you are coming to do, and they know whether, you know, you are bringing very decent crowd to the place. Now, for parliamentarians, you know, when they started the very first security matters, when they said they needed police guards, in a country where, when you look at the police citizen ratio, we didn't even have much police. You go to some towns in this country, they don't have a police station. And they were demanding for one police officer for themselves. When their own people they were serving didn't have security in some of the towns. That's when the pampering started. So they've lost touch with the people. Yes, they've lost touch with the people. I mean, the people, they will be looking for power from us. I'm not saying people can be truant, people can misbehave, but I'm saying there's a security, there's a reason why we put a whole police station at Parliament. There's a reason why security, like you are saying, is beefed up at Parliament. So who goes and where you want to go, you are firmly restricted. I mean, if you are going to where the offices are, you see the security checks there.
Yes.
when you're at the main gate, you see the security checks over there.
But there's been a case of theft by our own colleague Richard Sky,
right,
who was robbed in his car.
Yes.
So definitely, I'm also on the side of security.
Yes.
Maybe the Right Honourable may be a little concerned about the security of the people.
You want to talk about security labs? That will take us a whole day here. For everywhere, in fact, in military barracks and police barracks, there are theft cases there.
Right.
Where the police people and the soldiers live, there are theft cases there.
How about cases where there's a funeral and there's loud music and then there are proceedings in Parliament?
Respectfully, my love, even amongst the disciples of Jesus Christ, there was a corrupt one. So in this world, where will corruption go? Among the disciples, those who were fed the word, live by the word, live, in fact, so inspired by the man Jesus Christ, even amongst them, there was a corrupt man.
That was Judas.
Corruption will happen. You need to check it and leave it in the bud. So, yes, raising concerns, that's fine. Improving security, maybe if he had said, we need to up security, we need to screen whoever is coming there through some rigorous processes. If you want to come in there, you have to be screened with that is what, and the machines are already there. The people are at the gate. Let's go there this morning. If they want to up their security, they can up it. Now, proper event time management. Let's say so that it doesn't clash with.
It doesn't clash with parliamentary proceedings.
If you see, so if he had even allowed some of his subcommittees to sit and present something to him, I'm sure they would have raised some of these things to my honourable senior man. So this one, it really, there was a lot of corner side. And then in his presentation, somewhat presenting it like it will increase theft and blah blah blah, like you rightly said. I mean, are you accusing the visitors? Who is the thief? I've gone there for funerals before, so I feel bad. I was a thief.
Well, not specifically to you. Like you said also, there are true ones in there. Now, you know that the moment, I'll come to you shortly, you know that the moment there's a funeral...
Oh, you want to push into corruption areas?
I am not pushing into corruption areas.
Right.
All I'm saying is there are
some of the MPs
everywhere.
Who were ministers, have they not been
Definitely.
implicated of corruption?
Definitely. But then again, if there are true ones that are going to affect you holding a funeral over there.
Surprisingly, you are taking about other people. I'm taking my case. I have gone to funerals over there severally.
Because
so I'm taking it as a direct hit to me.
Because I speak for the people too. You are not a thief.
So
the Right Honourable is not calling you a thief.
No. He has no right to call anybody a thief. And he cannot say theft. That's why the theft came up. Maybe they lost those things before they went to Parliament.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the right thing to say is that up the security. The right thing to say is that, take people to rigorous screening processes. The right thing to say is that measure the timing well so that when there is Parliament sitting, people can't come there.
The event held.
Look, you think your funeral is useless?
I've not called a funeral useless.
You think respecting the dead is useless? Look, who does funeral there? You think my people from Manchagona, who actually buried at the other cemetery, what do you call it?
Is it Osu?
Osu Cemetery. And the one at Obeche area.
The Awudome.
They are the ones who went to sit at the forecourt. We are talking about high-profile individuals. How many poor people have sat in front of that Parliament, that yard, to do funeral? In fact, how many poor people can walk there with their corpse to go and do funeral over there? And the next is the revenue aspect.
Revenue.
People pay to use it.
That is what I said. My father's funeral was held and we were asked for a certain amount to be paid. In
fact, when they sit down to talk about loans. They are borrowing on our heads. Respectfully to say, is that we are talking about IMF loan. What were they talking about here? I respect them very well, but they were talking about loans.
Yes, it's proceeded on to the IMF loan, and he made a statement.
Can you imagine the same day? The same day,
yes,
they were going to sit over loans, which I respect them for, but I don't want loans. I want to generate from within. And that grounds, when they rent it out, it generates revenue directly. Which of the two? The revenue that will be charged from when you did your father's funeral. Then the breaking credit, you pay before you use the venue. Are you aware?
You have to pay. Yes,
you are aware?
Have to pay.
I have used the place severally. My late boss was using the banquet hall for National Unity Ball. National Unity Ball, bringing Ghana together. We paid money, cash. And you want the evidence, I'll prove it to you. And so on such accounts, how can you, high-profile people who are going to pay, the only thing you can do is to put a rigorous screening process in place.
Right.
And finally, I want to remind not only the Right Honourable Speaker, but all politicians that they should note this. We humbly give power to them. And you know what? I'm sad because he's the one who said this. Because he has a saying. I wrote that quote in my diary. Honourable Speaker has a saying about the power belonging to the people. And I think we have to go and look for his quote. And hit him with his own quote that, look, he should still remember that the power belongs to the people. We have the power.
Right.
I mean, the parliamentarians are not there because they are there.
No,
we put them there. They represent us. And then when they are going to campaign, they come to us. I'm saying not even in our official colors to invite them, and no protocol. They don't have any protocol.
And this is run under the national protocol.
They run into people. They run into you. You are going to check. They want to talk to you. What is the protocol they use? I'm very angry about this one.
But
especially when my budget, my coins, our coins, is what is keeping them there. We've put security at their aid. Look, every MP has one security man. You go to a whole town, there's no policeman there. But one MP to one policeman, then there's another one at the gate, there's a police station there again. And you are still talking about security.
Let me come to you, Thomas. Was the Right Honourable justified?
Well, I think we need to look at his comment from a particular context. And I'm privy to a lot of the happenings in Parliament. You know, security in Parliament has been a big problem, especially since Right Honourable Babin took over. Mind you, this is the first time we've had a Speaker of Parliament from an opposition party take over, where the Speaker of Parliament is not in the same party as the executive, who is in charge of managing, who is in charge of national security, who is in charge of managing the country. And so let's have that in context when we talk about security. This is not the first time the Right Honourable Speaker has been moaned about security. In fact, there were times the Speaker has been moaned about members of Parliament actually walking to the Chamber of Parliament with guns, with weapons.
To protect themselves?
To protect themselves. The Speaker, they brought what we call scanners at the chamber, and MPs were made to go through the scanners anytime before they enter the chamber so that they can be screened. Some of the MPs, especially MPs of the ruling government, decided they were not going to respect the Speaker's directive. They were not going to use the scanners. So there's a number of security measures that have been put in place, okay, which has not been, you know, effectively respected because you have a Speaker of Parliament who is not in the same party as the ruling government, who is in charge of national security.
Now how is that right? Because he's protecting I'm coming.
So, yes, I'm coming. So again, you are in this country when the security detail of the Speaker of Parliament was withdrawn by the President, by the government who is in charge of national security. And so, and what could be the motive? If you are the Speaker of Parliament for an opposition party, you have a whole security detail, professional military people. Today, as we speak, we have ministers of state who are walking around with military men as their drivers. But the Speaker of Parliament was told he could not have military men in his security detail. In this country, what could be the motive? And so coming from that perspective, you're a Speaker of Parliament, you will definitely be conscious about security. And so the Speaker's consciousness about security is not misguided. And it shouldn't be taken out of context that the Speaker doesn't want people to use the forecourt and what have you. Again, I think my brother Jeffrey's anger is purely, totally misguided at the wrong person. My brother, if you have somebody to be angry at the people who have wasted almost $400 million of taxpayers' money to dig a pit at the same vicinity to build a cathedral, when that space could have been used to build an independent state house where state banquets and state programs could be organized. Those are the people you should be angry at, my brother, not the Right Honourable Speaker. Because you see, at the foyer of Parliament, sometimes when I go to Parliament and there are programs happening there, and I see the chaos, sometimes it's so bizarre, even where to park vehicles, you know, and
there's no segregation between the event and the parliament.
You will know what is happening there. And there is no parliament in this world where parliament is in session and within the same vicinity there's a funeral or there's a party activity happening there. There's never mention one parliament in the world where that thing is happening. There are certain parliament, White House. Why is it not the American people who vote for the occupant of the White House? Do you know the security restrictions at the White House? It is because we know the dangers of democracy. Democracy is good. We know the cost of democracy. We also understand the dangers and the intricacies of it. And so some of these decisions are taken not because somebody feels that, I do not respect the people, or the people do not have to come to the vicinity, but it's because of the understanding of the Speaker gets security briefings from Parliament, from the military people, and from the police people.
I'm glad the national security.
Yeah, from the he gets briefing. The Speaker is, mind you, he's number 3.
Right.
So he understands the security, architecture of this country very well. He understands the security, the lapses in our security, and that is why he's expressing this concern, not about himself, but as the Speaker of Parliament, as the father of the House, he's concerned about their lives, the safety of his members of Parliament.
The same members who come to us.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When they come there, they are in charge of their own personal security. But when they are within the vicinity of Parliament, they are the responsibility of the state. And the Speaker being...
But we gave them a police station.
Of course. But that's why the Speaker has to put in those measures. And so I totally support the Speaker. There is no Parliament in the world where parliamentary proceedings will be going on and there will be funeral next door.
But as Geoffrey was saying, can
funeral
there be
officials?
a
It doesn't matter.
collaboration between the stakeholders or even the parliamentary body, especially the national security, because we know they are run on national protocol, where these can be segregated?
My problem is that the State House shouldn't even be within the vicinity of Parliament in the first place. That empty pit.
Were you in Ghana when the late MP was laid in state over there?
I'm coming. Oh,
were you in Ghana?
I'm saying that irrespective of whoever is laid in state over there.
Superhuman?
I'm saying that irrespective of whoever is laid in state over there, I'm saying that the State House shouldn't be within the precinct of Parliament.
Right.
That pit you've dug there, go and use that pit. Build an independent banquet hall where official state programs can be held. I'm saying that, yes, but independent one or independent...
No, but there's a banquet already.
I'm saying that, so you can build... So
I'm a revenue person.
If there is...
Definitely,
no,
if the
I'm saying that
money is going to be
you see,
you build...
I'm coming.
Jeffrey,
when we don't have farms.
Jeffrey, allow me to make my point.
Right.
The point I'm making is that we've broken down homes of judges, passport office, the residence of the Malian ambassador. I'm coming. Needlessly. Broken down those homes.
Right.
Okay? To achieve what? What have we achieved?
A very wonderful.
A very big, the world's most expensive pit.
Right.
Called National Cathedral. We hear they are going to commission it on 6th March. And we are hoping that commission will come on. We'll all be there on 6th March to witness the commission of the world's most expensive pit. But I'm saying that when the people were thinking about wasting taxpayers' money on this adventure, didn't they occur to them that we do not have an independent venue for state official functions?
We have a lot.
For state, I'm coming.
The State House has it.
We have a lot.
The State House is within, but the State House is within the precinct of Parliament, and I'm saying that interferes with parliamentary duty.
Center is also there.
Yes, but you know how
a big foyer.
You know how
there's a foyer there.
You know how funerals. You know how funerals are being done. So if the conference center is there, then why do people go and do funerals at the State House?
But the people you are talking about, Mr. Why are you standing? I'm saying the speaker who spoke. You claim, which is right, that he's briefed about security issues on the precinct of Parliament. And he is there and he actually allowed for state officials, politicians like him, who died, to be laid there.
He did not allow, mind you.
And he attended such functions.
Yes, but the speaker doesn't have. It is under the administration. It's run by the executive. The place is being run by the executive.
What I'm telling you is that he attended some of those functions.
Of course, but if the event
closed,
it
didn't occur to him that it was wrong to organize the funeral.
You see.
No, he shouldn't come and cry to
Jeffrey,
me.
the context. Jeffrey, you must understand the context.
This could have been handled amongst them. A few minutes to wrap up so we can continue with the next.
Jeffrey,
quickly.
All I'm saying is that the speaker did no wrong by making these remarks that the continuous organization of events, especially funerals, at the State House during parliamentary sittings or proceedings interferes with the activity of Parliament. It violates the safety of members of Parliament. It is a fact. Nobody can argue with that. And so, if that is the fact, then how do we resolve this problem? And I'm saying that the only way we can resolve this particular problem is to remove that an event center from there and put it at an independent place where state proceedings, state functions can go on without interfering with the activity of parliament, because there is no parliament in the world where during parliamentary sitting there is a funeral or event next door. No parliament in the world has that.